What's up, YouTube? It's your friendly neighborhood GM, your host, Coach Key, and today is my favorite day, Fridays, and back with my weekly video like I do on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's video, we're going to be doing a solo play of Ker Nethalas. One of my favorite games at the current moment, that and 4 Against Darkness. So we're going to create our character and we're going to jump right into gameplay of this. Now, I'm still fairly new on playing the game, so I'm sure that if I make any mistakes, you'll correct it inside of the comments. And if you'd like to further support the channel beyond what you're already doing, come on down to the Patreon and subscribe. Is it subscribe? I think you should subscribe. But join us. Legends and Dice Cafe on Patreon. It is free to join. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it. Alright, so let's get it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so you survive an execution. Once they execute you, they throw you into the world down below, and that's where your story kind of begins when you're exploring this necropolis. So we're gonna create a character real quick. You have the player reference, which is super cool, and it honestly helped me out a great deal. So if you're having any issues playing this game, I would absolutely recommend this. It says determine your attributes. So for your health, you're going to do a d6 plus 8. Let's do a d6. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, 13. I don't know which side to put it on, so I typically put it on this one. Is that 13? Yeah. I don't want to be wrong on camera, right? Boom, boom. And then we have for your toughness, and I think how your health works is you pull from your toughness first, and then when you're done with when you run out of that, then the next step is to start taking from your health. And this being depleted, I'm pretty sure is you die. All right, so for our toughness, we're going to do a 2d6 plus 10. 2d6, and that's a 9 plus 10, so we've got 19 toughness. And ether is a d6 plus 8. All ether recovers after entering a new room. I gotta remember that. And then, of course, for the toughness, you recover a d4 after every fight. So boom. So let's see. Ether is a representation of a character's spiritual and psychic power and is used to cast spells. And then sanity, a d6 plus 8. Whoa. So that's a 9. I won't complain because I got some pretty good scores. So let's see. And then for magic, it's an automatic 20. Exhaustion and exhaustion resistance, 0 and 0. And then we're going to go over to our character skills. Plus 60 to 1 weapon skill. We're going to do bladed weapons. And 40 to 1. And then 30 to 3 skills. And then 20 to 3 skills. And then 10 to 4 skills. And now you pick 2 masteries, which are like, super awesome skills. And you've got lots to pick from. Boom. So I think I'm going to go with the ritualist. So you've gained the ancient words and symbols of power, granting you power over the turning of the spheres, and their domain over the material world. This one was really cool. This is why I picked it. So when you start a ritual, you are immune to all damage for 1 round. And then the first tier, you have it's 1 action. You spend 5 ether points, and you bring a sphere. So you bring the sphere's punishment upon your target, dealing d4 arcane damage per 1 time. So I think it's called a zealot. Only faith can give true meaning to your life, and you have long decided to dedicate it to your deity's cause. Faith guides you always. 3 times per domain, you can re-roll any check. Oh, that's nice. And let's see, for your first tier, you channel your faith into your weapon, marking it as a divine instrument. Increase your weapon's damage by d4. That sounds pretty cool. Oh yeah, and I forgot in the beginning you can roll for which crime you were accused for. So let's do that. So I'm not gonna roll. I'm just going to pick something. So think I'm gonna do a piracy. Piracy. Seafaring individuals that attack ships, plundering their cargo, and often resorting to violence against the crew. Pirates are a significant concern for Feldonia. So that's it. All right. So in the back of the book, it has a section that you can start out, and it already has the domain mapped out. Majority, it has the areas mapped out. I started it, but I haven't finished it yet. But it has certain areas mapped up and then mapped out, and then other areas you will roll. I've been rolling to see what I encounter, but we're not gonna do that. It does suggest, so if this is your first time, your first ever playthrough of Ker Nethalas into the Midnight Throne, we strongly recommend that you use the following starting domain of the Necropolis. But we're not going to actually do that. I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to... So it does say, if this is not your first attempt at exploring, or you simply want to make a new character but don't feel like running through this starting domain, you can start the game by jumping straight into the standard exploration procedures. New characters that start this way commence the game with the following. So we're going to pick a weapon. Let's see. So we did bladed weapons. So let's do... I'm going to do a long sword. So let's see. And then next, so it's bladed weapon. So we got that. And next, random armor. One random armor from the random armor table. So we got a 19 and we have a shield. So we got shield, so we're gonna roll a D100. So we got a 71 and we have a wall, a parry bonus, and integrity is D8. All right, so my integrity is a D8, so I'm going to roll a D8 every time I guess it takes a hit. And when it does take a hit, then once I make that roll on a 1 to 2, then I go down the dice chain. Once I roll a 1 or 2 on this D8, then I'm going to start rolling this every time it gets hit. Then when I roll a 1 or 2 on here, then I'm going to go down to here. And once I get to this D4 and I roll a 1 to 2, then my armor is destroyed. Yeah, I'm learning a lot this game. So this is super cool. And we get one torch, and one torch lasts for 20 rooms. So let's see, and we get D10 plus 5 crafting supplies. A D10. So, and the other thing that I forgot to do was personal goals. I'm going to do this one right here. Decapitate the leadership. So you defeat 20 overseers is your objective. And your reward is when facing an overseer, they are stunned during the first combat round. So decapitate the leadership. We're going to roll on here to see what our dungeon with the rooms or the corridor are going to actually look like. Let's see, we got a 25. So we've encountered a corridor. What the? It's interesting, right? All right, so we're going to enter in through here. Oh, I forgot to show you. This will be my character. This is going to be Luffy Ra. Oh, my fault. He's not ready for battle. I got it. And here we go. Ready to take on the bottom world, the Necropolis. All right, so we're going to set him over here. And we're going to enter through here. And the next thing that we're going to do is, so if this is the first room or corridor of a new domain, which is our new domain, the first thing you must do is determine who the overseer is. So we're going to turn to page 165 and we're going to roll to see who our overseer is. Let's see. A 4. A Venom Cloud Siren. Interesting. And then we're going to roll on this table right here, the Overseer Influence, and that's going to let us know which modifier it applies to all creatures in the domain. So they're going to all have this awesome feature. So we're going to roll a D10. So we got a 2 vital plus d4 health. And then we're going to do a layer check. So we're going to do that tension die again. Where we're going to go from 1 die all the way to the smallest one. Each time you place a new room, you must make a layer check in order to find out where the domain's overseer is. So again, you go down. Once you get to 1 to 2 on here, then you're going to go down to the next die, and then on until you get to the d4 and you get a 1 or 2. That's the actual overseer's domain. So once you've determined whether it's a regular room or a quarter, then you're going to do a tension die check. So in moving through the maze of crypts and tunnels of the Midnight Throne will sooner or later draw the attention of wandering abominations and creatures, especially if you are not careful. In order to keep track of those wandering dangers, we use the tension die, and when it drops to a 1 or 2, the tension die drops down in value, of course. And then once you get to 1 or 2 on the d4, then you're going to roll right here and see what the issue is. So we'll go ahead and roll the overseer, the domain. So that's a no. And then that's a no. So we're good to go on that. So it says that you can do a scavenger check in each room, but we're going to wait to do that. The next thing, I have a little list, my own little list. Oh yeah, we could do a room description or a corridor description so we can get a better insight into what we're seeing as we travel through this interesting looking corridor. So we're going to roll a d20. We got an 11. So let's see. This wide corridor is lined with towering statues and ornate sarcophagi. Faded tapestries hang from the ceiling telling stories of ancient rulers. And boom, I have my little list right here. So I have my little checklist right here. So the next thing we're going to do to roll is see what we encounter. If we encounter a monster or something else. So the next after we've done our layer check, we've done our oversee check. So next you must see if there's a combat encounter in this room or corridor. Roll a d20. So we got a 3. So let's see. For corridors, you'll only face combat encounters on a roll of 15 plus. So if there's no combat encounter, which we didn't get a combat encounter, then you're going to roll on the events table. So let's see, we're going to roll a D100 on the events. And now we're going to roll on the events. We're going to roll that D100. So let's see. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So we got a 60. So here we go. Let's see. So this room is a pile of scrolls that seem to have survived the passage of time. If you sit a while and read one, you can make a reason check. If you pass it, you learn weaknesses of the domain's overseer, applying you to stun them in the first round of combat against them. So let's do a reason check. So how the skills work, you have to hit the skill or roll under. I think that's it. So when asked to perform a check, we take a D100 and attempt to roll equal to or less than the skill in question. So we're going to do a reason check. Wow, my reason is a 10. You never know. So let's give it a try. So that, I can't remember which one, 3 or 5. It makes no difference because I failed the check. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. So next up, we're going to roll again. We're going to roll a D100 to see exactly what the next area is going to look like. I think that's it. Oh, we didn't do a scavenger check. So let's do a scavenger check. So let's see. So each time you enter a room, you can make a scavenger check. If you pass, you can roll on the scavenging table. Only a single scavenging check is allowed per room. All right, so let's see. Scavenge. We got a 20. It's just a fail. So we found nothing in there. So the next thing we're going to do is roll again. Let's see. We got a 96. Let's see. And that's going to be a room. And that's what our room is going to look like. Interesting how we're going to set it on here. Oh, and I forgot. So it definitely has a door right here. So determine if the door or container is locked by rolling a d20. So we got a 19. A result of 10 plus means that it is locked. So the next thing we're going to do is determine the lock's difficulty by rolling on a random difficulty table. Here is the difficulty table. So we're going to roll a d8. So we got a 1, Child's Play. It says it requires a lockpick, and I don't have a lockpick. So I'm going to use athletics to bust a door. If the door or container is locked and you can't pick the lock, you can always break it down. In order to successfully break the door down or container down, you must pass an athletics check. I don't think my athletics is pretty good. Let's see. So I got a 30 for athletics. Let's see. Oh, awesome. I did it. Athletics. Awesome. Let's see. Let me make sure. 7. 7 and 0 is a 7. All right. Yeah. Check this out. So I had to grab this chart just in case I needed it. So we've got the 7 and the 0. So it is a 7. Awesome. So we're able to knock the door down. But of course, we're going to do a tension check because we knocked the door down and made noise. So let's see. 4, so we're good on that. Boom. So we enter the room. Now we're going to roll on the room description to see what we're looking at as we enter this room that we've banged down the door. So a D100. Let's see. So we got an 88. So disorienting illusions assault you momentarily as you step into this room, showing you images of your past. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do that layer check. So we're good on the layer check. And we're going to roll a tension die. And, on a 2. So remember on a 2, we're going to go down to the next die. And that is going to be a D6. That's going to be the next time that we roll. So let me change this. So we're down to a D6. All right, so, and now we're going to roll to see if we run into an encounter or what type of encounter we run into. So we're going to roll that D20. We're in a room. So we got a 10. Man, oh man, oh my. So we have encountered. So if it's a room, a result of 10 plus means that you've encountered some sort of enemy. So I'm pretty sure we roll on this table first to see which. I'm pretty sure I think. So if I'm wrong, definitely correct me. So we roll a d6 to see if we're going to do table A or table B combat encounters. Oops, I'm not going to touch that one. That's a special die. And we got a 5. So we're going to do combat encounters table B. So then we're going to roll a d20 to see what kind of encounter we come upon. We encounter. We got a 16, so a Vinekin. Or a Vinkin, but I think that's Vinekin. And here's the stats right here. So that's page 160. And I think we're going to actually pause right there for our session 1. Our very first session of Ker Nethalas. I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for session 2.
As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and thanks for all the suggestions for solo games to review on the channel. I have a nice list, and I'm sorting through it to see which book that I want to drop, which book I want to jump into next. As always, I'm going to see you guys again next week, same time, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. I hope you have a really fantastic weekend. And that's it. I'll see you guys next week.